Hi, Montana. Day 19 of the legislature. This morning in Business and Labor, we heard a bill on gambling, and we heard a bill requiring at least one member of the Board of Housing to be a veteran, and one of those members of the Board of Housing to be knowledgeable about issues facing Native Americans when it comes to housing. On the House floor, we passed House Bill 24, titled Protect Vulnerable People from Financial Exploitation. It's a great bill aimed mostly at our senior citizen neighbors who sometimes get taken advantage of when they're on a fixed limited income. We heard bills about transportation contracting, requiring education for water commissioners. We had a really interesting bill, House Bill 165, that would cap the punitive damages that can be recovered from corporations. So punitive damages are the damages that a court assigns when a corporation has knowingly, willfully, purposely done harm, injury to a person. So you all know that there are companies out there who calculate how much the fine is if they break the law and just total that into their bottom line and decide that they will just pay to break the law even though it hurts people. This is a bill that big business always comes to the legislature and asks for, even though the folks who advocate for the bill say, oh no, this isn't about big business trying to take advantage or break the law in Montana. It's a part of what's called tort reform. Usually if you hear those words, it's not a good idea. It's a way of making sure that you are not protected, and big business really, really is. Companies are breaking the law and paying the fines, and now this bill would lower those fines or put a cap on them. It's just big out-of-state businesses trying to come to Montana and influence Montana politics so that they can get richer while breaking the law. It's a terrible bill. We heard more bills on driving with cell phones. We created a grant program to give training to law enforcement officers who respond to handle behavioral health crises. So a behavioral health crisis is perhaps you have a member of your family who lives with a mental illness, and because of that, end up with an encounter with law enforcement. That requires a different kind of training and a different way of handling it than just a straight someone committing a crime. And so this grant program, I think, would do something to help train law enforcement deal with the encounters they have with folks living with mental illness in the state. It's a good bill too. We also passed a bill to allow a judge to order treatment as a sentencing option when someone is suffering from a drug addiction. Another really good bill. We also passed a resolution recognizing the Fort Robinson breakout. And so your homework is to go to bit.ly/Fort Robinson breakout and learn about that event that now the Montana House and Senate will be honoring and recognizing. In local government this afternoon, we heard one tiny little bill that just adds $2 to your license plate fee unless you want to opt out of it, that would then fund the maintenance of the trails you see alongside or sometimes connected to roadways that are used by bicyclists and pedestrians, families with strollers, people walking their dogs. It's interesting because the majority sees that as a tax, even though it's carried by a Republican House member. So I'll keep you updated on that and more. I want to make sure you're aware of the Montana Progressive Democrats meeting that's happening tomorrow night at the Placer Lobby at 21 North Last Chance Gulch here in Helena. The Progressive Democrats are a partner organization of the Montana the Montana Democratic Party, and we're going to meet from 5:30 until maybe 9:30 tomorrow night to talk about where we want to go as an organization. So if you identify as a progressive, you are welcome to join us for that and help in the decision-making process of moving this party forward. Thanks very much. Have a great night.